Our retro review of Babylon 5 this week is called Believers, after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd. This is a difficult episode. In a lot of shows of this type, and even in doctor shows, and this episode centers around Dr. Franklin, there's always the patient who needs the surgery, and you have to convince the patient or the parents or somebody that they have to have the surgery to save their life. And usually by the end, they get the surgery and it saves their life, and they change their minds, and all is well, and they go on to the next episode. And that's not the way they wanted to write this. J. Michael Straczynski is the producer and a very religious individual. And he injected that into Babylon 5 in the way that we've rarely seen in other science fiction. Usually it's just kind of maybe there in some of the older stuff. Star Trek was very much led by the idea that everybody has their beliefs, but they're all wrong, kind of Roddenberry's general thought on the matter. And here we take into account people who have different creeds. Now, in question is a little boy who is sick, who is easily cured by a surgical procedure. And the parents say, no, we only do cutting on animals because they have no souls. If you cut someone open, they're no longer a spiritual being. They're just a shell. And Franklin refuses to go along with this, along with his the other doctor, and goes to Sinclair and says, we need to override this. Did it before with Kosh when he was there, and they don't allow anybody to see Vorlons. And so precedent has been set. And since these people did not have an ambassador on the station, they went to all the other ambassadors that we know and asked for their help in order to advocate for them. And they went to the Narn. The Narn says, G'Kar says, we're not going to get involved in anything that doesn't benefit us or something that would cause a good trade agreement between their plans. There's no point. They go to Londo, and Londo is sympathetic, but he says there's a whole lot of paperwork that would go through, and it would take more time than it would be able to actually do any good. They go to Vash, who says that the Vorlons are believe that once you throw a pebble in the stream, there's not much to do about it. And then you get to Delenn, and Delenn says the Minbari are very spiritual people, but they find that the persecution based on the way that people believe is a reason that they do not want to involve themselves into judging other people's religions, who's right and who is wrong. Many different religions exist even here on Earth, and which one is right? Which one is wrong? Are any of them wrong, as Sinclair had advocated? Perhaps we're all right in some way or other. It doesn't, however, resolve the situation, and despite the fact that Sinclair, now faced with a decision as to whether to let Franklin operate over the parents' wishes and fulfill his own values and Franklin's, or if he sides with the parents fulfilling their values. It's an impossible choice. There's a good line in it. I know now what Pontius Pilate must have felt like. So what we have here is a no-win scenario, really. There is either wrong by one way or wrong by another. And this is a situation. You have to be able to respect other people's beliefs. But Where do you draw the line? Where is it between their beliefs and our beliefs that we have to make that judgment when we live in a society of diversity? And especially in a place like Babylon 5, where it's supposed to be a way of making diplomatic connections, do you go so far as to say, well, what you believe is rubbish? So that was, and there was no good ending to this. Somebody was going to be disappointed, or everybody was going to be, and in fact, that's how it actually happened. And without giving away any details on this, it's something that makes you sit back and think. It's something of, we all have beliefs that we cling to. And when someone comes up to us and says, no, that doesn't count, and we're going to do what we want to do rather than what you want to do, that's where conflict comes in. It makes a good television show, and it's done very well here. So I'd like to know what you think about this. Please put it on the comments below, and of course, if you have not subscribed yet, please do so, and leave a like if you will. We have also today coming down a Lower Decks episode review, and then we'll be back on Tuesday with another other stuff. Oh, by the way, I would appreciate the people who were asking about my test that I alluded to in a previous video. Everything came out fine. I am fine. So without going into the grossness of what it was that they were poking around on, they found nothing of any concern. So I am fine, and looking forward to doing more videos with you as time goes forward. So thank you very much, and until next time, don't go far.